Hey everybody. So recently I've been spending a whole lot of time with Netflix and Amazon Prime and Disney Plus watching all kinds of movies. And it reminded me of one of the things that I love to do most, which is find spiritual truth in movies, right? I love movies, I love spiritual truth, and to connect those two things. And I was thinking about the very first time that I ever did that, the first time I ever realized that was a thing that I could do. I've always been a huge fan of Star Wars, as most of you know. And I was, a number of years ago, I was talking with my friend John, who was also a huge fan. And he was talking about the scene in the first Star Wars movie where the stormtrooper whacks his head on the door. And I said, what are you talking about? And he goes, oh yeah, it's the scene, they're on the Death Star and the stormtroopers, as they come through and one of them whacks his head on the door. I had never seen that. I had no idea what he was talking about. So we went back, we pulled up the movie, and sure enough, in that scene, R2 and 3PO, they're in this control room on the Death Star, and 4 stormtroopers force the door open, and as they come through the door, the guy on the right-hand side whacks his head on the door as he's coming through. I had never seen that before. I had never noticed that before. But now, every time I watch the movie, that's what I see. I go and look for that because someone pointed it out to me. And sometimes we do the same thing with Scripture. We get so familiar with a Bible story. Noah, Ark, 40 days, got it. Jesus, 40 days in the desert, got it. Jesus fed the 5,000. I know. We get so familiar with these stories that we don't notice the deep spiritual truth that is right in front of us because we're so familiar that we stop looking for it. And so sometimes people complain, like, why do you take non-Christian movies and show them to your students? And they kind of don't like that idea. Well, I think about in Deuteronomy 6, there's a prayer called the Shema. And it goes like this. It says, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength. The Shema, it's this declaration of who God is. And it says, these commands that I give you today are to be on your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. Tie them as symbols on your hands and bind them on your foreheads. Write them on the door frames of your houses and on your gates. Think about that. God is saying to take this spiritual truth, to put them on the door frame, to put them on the gate of your house. Why? Right? There's nothing necessarily Jewish or for us Christian about a door frame or about a gate. But what he's saying is take the spiritual truth and attach it to something that you will see every day. Attach this spiritual truth to something that you are so familiar with that you will be reminded of it every single day. And for us, that's kind of something that we have this free time now. We're spending lots of time watching movies. Some of us are watching movies every single day. And so to attach spiritual truth to something that we know, something that we're familiar with, that's what I love to do with movies. So my challenge to you, what's a movie that you want to see me attach spiritual truth to? Or what's a spiritual truth, a verse, part of Scripture that you want to see me attach to a movie? Send them in, let me know what you got, challenge me, and next week I'll be back with a Movie Minute. Have a good night.